Yes. 1 second. Is it visible?
Yes, visible.
Okay. So now the third thing is the first language, your body language. There is an Arabic proverb which says that if he who does not understand a look will never understand a long explanation. So your body language can in fact communicate a lot, even if you try to tell them in a sentence, in a paragraph. Those things you can easily tell them through your expressions. If they are not able to understand that, they will never understand your words also. Now, as you know, 55% is through your body language, 38% is through your vocal variety, and 7% words. So you should think the other way around. Have 7% of beautiful, effective, impactful words, and 55% of body language. That will make a great deal. And vocal variety will normally come, means it will naturally come. As they say, action speaks louder than words. 55% is through your gestures, movement, eye contact, and expressions. Two things that you have to take care is the way you move on the stage and the way you move your hand while giving an international speech. Your gestures, movement, eye contact, all those things are there, but these two things are very, very essential. The way you are moving on your stage and the way you move your hands. You would have seen him, his magic posture. So this is a power posture, in fact. Keep your hands as legs apart, hands semi Shah Rukh Khan style, and then this actually gives you confidence. And one more thing is that you know the Shah Rukh Khan style, that Shah Rukh Khan signature style is in fact a power posture which which gives you a lot of confidence and a lot of easiness on the stage. So when you are delivering a speech, try this is one way of stretching your hands and keeping your legs apart. This position in fact gives a lot of confidence in you. And what is more convenient is that once the hands are out, it will be easier for you to move around the hands and say something, and you can easily move your hands. And don't rest your hands in front of your body, because I'll tell you before moving to that. What you have to do is that two things when you are walking into a stage. Two things what you have to take care is that relax your knees. What we normally do is that when we get tensed, we will try to squeeze our knee. Try to relax your knee. Instead of whenever you're going to speak, whether it's if you're sitting also, try to give a relaxation feeling to your knee. Your tension will slowly evaporate. Second thing is that on the stage, don't put your weight on the heel. Instead of that, what you have to do is that your feet balls are there behind. There you should keep, and you keep your heel in fact a bit, that finger portion a bit up, and try to relax your knee slowly. Do this 2-3 times. This will in fact relieve your stress. And one more thing is that when you are on your heel, what will happen is that you tend to sway. When you're on your feet ball, what will happen is that you will not do that. Try to do that. Try to give more pressure on that one. And now also you can just try to sit like that. It gives you a more what you call that steadiness will come to you. So this will not have any distracting heel movements for you. This is one thing. So this is more effective when you're going onto the stage. There are certain things, indications what you give, wrong signals. When you are rocking back and forth, you are telling people that I am totally uncomfortable. Turning your back, you are not important to me. Hands crossed in front, I am weak, I need protection. Crossed arms position, I totally disagree with you. Leaning sideways, this is something that all, even the senior Toastmasters do, leaning sideways, because they think that it's a style. I just want to slip away from here. I want to finish this one and go away from here. Hands on your pocket. Now, most of us are taking care of it. I am super nervous. That's all. So, try to avoid these kinds of distractions. Instead of that, if that middle person had removed his hands from the pocket, and instead of facing his means leg to the sideways, if he had made it slightly 60-degree this way, and if he had kept his weight on the heel, or sorry, on the feet balls, then what would have happened is that he would have felt more confident. So that kind of a position you have to take. And before you take up any role, any speaking, before you start speaking, take a literal walk or a virtual walk. So you are the speaker number 3. Just get out or get up from your seat and go around a walk. And if you are not able to do that, sit there, close your eyes and take a literal walk. Visualize how you are going to stand on the stage, how you are going to deliver the speech, how people will be reacting to you. Just close your eyes and visualize and breathe an air of confidence. This is one thing. Just before you are going to deliver the speech, take 5 deep breaths and leave it as much as you can. How much long as you can, you take that the longest, the deepest breath and leave it. Now, as the standing in the so-called power pose, for example, now as I told you, there will be a power pose which actually brings in a lot of energy in you. So when you are called onto the stage, or when you are ready to speak, stand there for a minute, for a 30 seconds in that position, and you will naturally feel the confidence coming to you. Now, regarding the eye contact, never speak your papers, slides, sky, ceiling, or the floor. Try to move away from the properties which you are using. Never look at them and speak to people. Second, why is eye contact? What is eye contact? Is that this actually shows your interest, and this will help you to invite attraction. And while looking at them, you can in fact dominate them. People can even threaten and influence people by mere eye contact. So why we should do eye contact in a speech is because it builds rapport. When you start speaking, be selective. You think that, okay, from the front row, I'm going to look at him, and look at him. 3 people I'm going to look at. Then when I speak further, I will look at somebody in that. So have a clear-cut plan on your eye contact, how you are going to do that, because it will build trust among people. They will feel, yes, this guy is speaking and he is speaking to me. That will make them believe in what you are speaking. What the way how you should have your eye contact, this is very important. One thought, one look. When you are telling something, when you are making a point, you tell that point, give a look there. Then when you make the next point, look at the next person. Try to cover everyone. Don't stare. Pick them in random. So it should not happen. You should say that that was a dream of my life. Do you have? What should I do? Like that, one, two, three, you should not select. That was a dream of my life. Do you have one dream like that? What should I have done that day? So what I have done is that I have taken a person from here, person from there, and person from there. So when you do it randomly, everybody will be attentive to you. So they will think that next you are going to look at him or her and emote while you look. Your eyes should have that emotion, whatever you're asking. Don't have an eye contact just for the sake of it. Now, next thing is that forget yourself and see the beauty of your audience. If someone frowns, smile and move away, because it happens in some of the audience when we are trying to establish a eye contact, somebody will look at you like this. So then what you should do is that you can just shake your head and say that that is what. So then move away from him and find another welcoming face. And if you are not finding a welcoming face, what you should do is that one thing what you should do is that you are thinking that this nobody is having a welcoming face. You can look at their hairline, look at this portion. You don't have to have a clear cut, because you are having an audience which are not at all reactive to you, and you want to actually look at their hairline. That is one way of doing things. Second thing is that look at something like the try to find their ear. Don't look at their face. Try to find their ear. Just move away, because what you are trying to do is that they will feel that you are having a eye contact. This is a tip only, because it normally doesn't happen that entire crowd will be very against, or what you call that kind of a non-cooperative crowd will not be there. So you can establish an eye contact, and if you are feeling very uncomfortable, you can look at their hairline. So it will be, they will think that you are having an eye contact. Now, different kinds of facial expressions, as you know, you can use arching your eyebrows, keep smiling as much as possible, because it will make them feel that you are pleasant and you are pleased. And when you have a concern, show it the disapproval by frowning. Because what will happen is that if you are delivering a speech, even if it is the best of the best speech, without any facial expression, more than 3-4 minutes, the audience will not look at your face. They will start looking at somewhere else, because it doesn't make any difference to them watching you or watching somewhere else, because you are only speaking. You are not delivering a speech. The most effective gestures, what you can do is that hand signals, words, numbers, positioning, everything you can do with your hand signals. Like V for victory, when you are telling we had the victory. So those kind of hands symbolic gestures are very effective. Uh, and next is descriptive gestures. You can, as you know that every one of you know how you can show big, small, large. Say that life was flowing like a river, things were not happening, and life was squeezing me. These are all descriptive gestures. Emotional, you can clenching the feet, clenching the hand, um, fist held together, hands clasped, all those things are emotional. So there are a lot of gestures. On the gestures, it itself is a was subject. You can work on it. So whenever you are having a speech, to add value to it, two things what you have to add is that eye contact and gestures. How free you keep your hands, and your hand gestures can make a huge difference to your speech. Now, moving. Most of the speakers find it difficult because they either keep moving on the stage without any purpose, or they don't move at all. So always on your stage, move with a purpose. So how to practice your movement on the stage? When you're there is a transition from one point to another, you can move. Second, when you have one viewpoint, from that viewpoint you're deviating to another viewpoint, you can move. Third is that you are talking about your college days. From there you are coming to your job, to a time when you got your first job, then you can move. When you say that I was devastated, things were not going the way I wanted, you can be on one con. But after every winter, there is a spring. Life changed in the year 2000. Then you can move from that period of devastation to a period of recovery, to the other corner. So always make your movements very, very clear, and always move around the stage with a purpose. One thing is that when it is always, when you want to deliver something very important message, don't go back and deliver. Always come to the front, stand on the power position, that is your legs, feet kept apart, your hands are beyond that, your body line, it should be here, and come towards the audience and deliver the message you want to deliver. Now there is a format, but what you can use. This is the, if you see, when you start the speech, you start it from the middle of the stage. And when you speak on the body, move to the left or right. It is your choice. And when you speak on the second portion of the body, that means the second example, or when you get more into your speech, move to the opposite direction. And when you are inching towards the end of your body of the speech, go exactly behind from where you had started your speech. And from behind. So you have started your speech in the middle, you moved to the right, to the left to speak on the topic. Then you moved to the right to speak the second portion of your topic. Then you moved to the back for the conclusion of your body. And from there you cross the introduction portion, go in front, stand on your power position, and deliver your conclusion. So that will make your complete movement of the stage. And whenever you are having characters like your brother, you can in fact have a virtual hologram of the brother on one side, your father on the other side. So this is where the body one, body two are very, very effective. So if a particular, your life before your first job will be one side, life during your first job will be your second side, life after losing your first job will be your third portion. So like that you can segregate the stage stage into different portions and use that effectively. One thing is that people may hear your words, but they will always feel your attitude. We always recollect our feelings easily. So at the end of the speech, people will remember your speech if you have made them feel that speech. So try to make your audience feel your speech by delivering an effective speech that is well chosen topic, well written script, and a deliberate effort you put on by hard working and practicing the speech 15 times, using triads, similes, metaphors, and adding on with your gestures and your eye contact. Move wisely with each topic, each message, and deliver the conclusion coming in front of the stage, standing on your power position and delivering it from your heart. That will connect you with your audience and that will make them feel for your speech and they will never forget your speech. Thank you.